It took me exactly 3 months to go from being dead broke, having $500 to my name, living with my parents and failing multiple different businesses, to gain to my first $10,000 per month in profit with remote sales. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step blueprint, how you can do the exact same thing in 2025. Everything that you need to know to actually get into remote high ticket sales and make your first $10,000. So by the end of this video, you will have a clear action plan of what to actually start doing so you can get these results for yourself, achieve more freedom, make a lot of money, all that good stuff. So let's dive into it straight away. First thing I need you to understand that the most people get wrong when it comes to remote sales and trying to get into this space is they think that they need previous experience in order to get into it. They think they need business experience, they think that they need to have a degree, or that they need to be an extrovert in order to get into this. And I want to break this limiting belief that you might hold straight away before we even get into this video, and help you understand that number one, you don't need any experience whatsoever to get into this. I work with multiple young guys, 18, 19, 20-year-olds that have no experience whatsoever, and help them get into the space, make a lot of money, just because they've learned the skill set and actually focus on the process I'm going to walk you through in this video. You don't need any previous experience. You don't need to be a business expert. You just need to have the work ethic to actually work hard and the willingness to learn and apply what I'm going to walk you through in this video. That is it. You don't need to be an extrovert either. Some of the best salespeople that I know, and also myself included, are more towards the introvert part of the spectrum, and that's totally fine. In my opinion, you will actually perform better as a salesperson when you are more introverted, because you're better at connecting with people at a deeper level. You're having those one-on-one deeper conversations. Well, I'll get into that. But I just want to break those limiting beliefs so that that's not going to hold you back, because you don't need to have any experience, any degrees, none of that stuff to succeed with this. But let's get into it now. So what was actually the process of me going from this guy right here when I was 18 years old, being super insecure, having literally $500 to my name? I remember taking this picture when I was trying to start my affiliate marketing business, trying to look all professional and things like that. And I failed with that business. I failed with drop shipping, and I failed with a marketing agency for over 2 years. And I was just struggling. I was just stuck. I had $500 to my name. I didn't know how I was gonna make it out of that. I was living with my parents, and my days just looked like me just working on all these different businesses, failing, being stuck, not knowing how I was gonna get that next level of figuring stuff out, how I was gonna move out of my parents' house, start traveling, and all those things that I wanted to do. And then we have me in this second picture here. This is actually me just 2 weeks ago. Me in Buenos Aires in this really nice spot that I was staying in, working from my computer, closing deals, making over $2,000 some days at 22 years old, having a life of complete freedom right now where I can travel wherever I want in the entire world, travel around, make well over $10,000 per month consistently, and having that freedom that I always dreamt of. This entire transformation was possible simply due to the framework that I'm going to walk you through in this video, and taking action on this stuff by getting into remote high ticket sales. That's what changed my life, and I want to help you do the exact same thing by giving you the framework right now. So let's get into it. So in order to understand this framework of how I actually went from zero to making my first 10K a month in the vehicle by doing remote high ticket sales, we first off need to understand that this is very different from all these other business models that you hear about online. You might be familiar with dropshipping, TikTok shop, content creation, with affiliate marketing, trading, all these different things. The difference between all those businesses and remote high ticket sales is that with remote high ticket sales, you're not going to be growing your own business. You're not going to be having to learn sales, marketing, how to run a business, how to get clients for your business, taking sales calls for your business, closing clients, delivering results for clients, scaling the business, leading a team. With this business, with remote high ticket sales, the only thing that you have to do is learn sales and find one client to work for. If you compare this to example like copywriting, that's something that I looked into a lot when I got into this industry. With copywriting, it's not just you learning how to write copy. You also need to find clients, outreach to clients, land clients, sell to them, take sales calls. Sales blends into every single business model out there. Literally every single thing that you could potentially do, sales is part of it. It's the most fundamental skill in all of business. And that's why I picked sales as a skill that I went all in on learning. Because think about it like this, whatever type of business you want to run down the road, or if you just want to make a lot of money doing sales, It's all built upon your ability to influence and persuade other people and know how to speak in a very convincing way and understand sales psychology. And that's why I think this is the best industry for anyone as a beginner to get into, because it's the best path to learning that skill while making a lot of money and having a lot of freedom doing it. So when it comes to actually getting into this, it's basically 3 different steps, 3 different things you need to have in place in order to actually get into this industry and actually make your first 10K a month as a remote sales rep. First thing we need is the actual skill set. This is the most fundamental thing and the most important thing as well for you to actually get into this space. A lot of people try to get into a remote sales role and they're shit. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to actually perform in a role. They don't know what they're saying on the call. They don't have any confidence. They don't know the tonality stuff and the sales principles or how the industry even works. So the first thing that you need to get in place in order to actually get into this is you need to master the skill set. You don't need to become a 10 out of 10 best salesperson ever, but you need to master the point where you actually feel confident in the skill set. That's the first and very important thing. A lot of people I speak with that are in sales right now and trying to like make more money and asking for my help. The reality why they're not making more money is because they're not actually that good. So that's the first thing. You need to actually get good and understand the sales process, sales principles. How you do that is basically number one, understanding the industry, understanding like how remote high ticket sales actually works. The fact that you work for online influencers, info product businesses, people like Iman Gadzhi, people like Grant Cardone, people like Tony Robbins, people that sell information online. You work for one of those companies, understanding the sales process, understanding the principles you're going to use on calls. And to give you some examples here, basically what that is the principles you use on a call is understanding number one, that sales is all about helping people. At the end of the day, what you're doing is you're just a professional problem solver. Sales is all about just demonstrating for someone else that you can help them solve the problem. So at the core of it, all what sales really boils down to is just you understanding clearly what someone else's problem is by asking good questions and really getting clear on what the problem truly is. And then basically showing them that you can actually help them fix that problem through whatever solution that you have. That's what sales boils down to. If you can understand that and actually apply that on your calls, you will make a lot of money doing that. That's actually the most important thing that I've learned over the last 3 years of being in this industry now and making a lot of money doing this, making multiple 6 figures before 22. It's just that sales comes down to solving problems for other people. And to do that, you need to understand their problem and then show that you can actually help them fix the problem with your solution. That's what it is. And then you need to practice that. You need to just practice that over and over again. You need to learn the principles, understand how to sell, and then just do that as many times as you need to in order to actually get confident in it. Have practice calls, meet up with other people, role play, practice, get feedback ideally from a mentor. Just rinse, repeat that until you get confident. That's step one. That's the first thing we need to do in order for you to actually get to 10K per month fairly quickly. Learn the skill set, get confident in it. That's step one. Then step number 2 is actually landing an offer. So landing a sales job for a business to actually work for. So the question is like, how do we actually land an influencer, a good business to work for, where you can actually make good money? And this is one of the biggest things that I see for a lot of people is that the reason why a lot of people don't succeed in this space is number one, because they don't know how to actually land a business. They're struggling to just like land a business to work for. I have some principles I'll share with you in like how to do that. But also they land bad businesses. A lot of people get into remote high ticket sales, they land a business to work for, but they land a bad business. Doesn't actually have good marketing, they don't have good like a good brand, they're lacking these fundamental things, which makes it very hard for you to actually make money in the offer. Just to give an example here, like I've worked with companies who have been making like 4K a month, and I work with companies who are making over 10K a month. And my skill set hasn't like doubled during that time period, you know. The thing that shifted, the thing that changed was just like the business that I was working for. And that's why this is so important, being on the best possible offer, because that's how you'll make the most money doing this as well. So the thing you need to do here is just like understanding what good business actually look like. What does like good versus a bad business actually look like? How can you identify the good ones versus the bad ones? Having unique ways of reaching out to businesses. Instead of just like doing what everyone else does, just sending these copy-paste DMs, having unique ways of actually building proper relationships, leveraging people that you might already know in the right way, having unique ways of actually building connections with people, building your personal brand as a remote salesperson, and also knowing how to interview with these people. This is very, very different from most other like job roles out there, which requires you to also be like kind of up to date on how this industry works. Knowing how to interview in the right way is super, super crucial to actually land a role here. Just to give some principles here in terms of how to actually do this. Number one, identify the right business. Find businesses to work for that you actually believe in. People that you follow on Instagram, people that you follow on YouTube. A lot of those people have high ticket offers. So focus on businesses that you truly believe in, and really focus on building relationships, connections with those businesses. That's also kind of part of this one, unique outreach strategies. You want to build relationship with businesses. You don't want to just send out DMs, just copy and paste them, and just seem like a bot. Build true connections. Comment on something that you see that you connect with. If someone posts something about their diet and you connect with that, talk about that stuff. Get into that, actually build a true, real human connection with people. That's going to start growing your personal brand within this industry. Also optimize your profile to show people that you're actually in remote high ticket sales. Post some like mindset stuff. All of this is going to help to actually make you stand out from other people. And then interviewing, just knowing how to show up. And the biggest tip I can give you there is that you just need to have that hunger, that drive, and show to the people you speak with. If you can just show up to interviews and be confident and be hungry and show that you're hungry in how you speak, people are going to hire you. That's how I landed my first role, by just being hungry and by just being very driven and showing that. Last thing here is scaling your income. So at this point, you've landed a role. If you follow the steps I just gave you before, you built your skill set, you got into a business to actually work for. Last thing is just scaling your income once you're in that role. The first thing here is just like knowing how to perform in the role. The biggest mistake that a lot of people make is they get into a role, they don't know how to actually perform in that, and they end up getting fired after like a week or 2 weeks, So, and actually I was really close to getting fired when I started in this space because I didn't actually know how to do this properly, So the first thing you need to do is like having actual road plan to follow, knowing how to avoid mistakes and pitfalls. And the best way to do this, and what I've done to fix this, is having a mentor, having someone who can show you what to do. Because otherwise it's very, very big risk. You're going to get into a role, feel like all sunshine and rainbows. You take your first calls, take your second day of calls, third day of calls, and all of a sudden you're on a call with the business owner where they're telling you that you're going to get fired because you're not performing. Obviously, you want to avoid that. So that's why it's so important to have someone who can at least hold your hand and show you these steps so you don't end up getting fired, So avoiding mistakes, avoiding pitfalls, that's the most important thing. So you can actually get from 0 to your first 5K per month and then scaling up to 10K per month. Yes, all comes down to you showing up and getting really freaking good in the role. The best way to get good quickly in sales, it comes down to 2 principles. Number 1, doing more reps, is taking more calls. And number 2 is getting feedback, having a very tight feedback loop where you have a coach, a mentor, someone who can review your calls, show you what you need to adjust, show you the things you need to improve on, and then just rinse and repeat that over and over again. The more you can do that, the faster you will grow and the faster you will increase your income as well. And then the last step here is making more money. There's a lot of growth potential as well to this. When you're actually making your first 5, 10K a month in remote sales as a sales rep, you need to understand that there's also a lot of growth beyond that. You can start managing the team, where you can make between like 15 up to even 40, 50K a month. If you have the right skill set of how to become a manager, you can pour that into starting to manage different offers for different entrepreneurs and helping them grow their sales teams and things like that. You can start your own offer down the road. Everything opens up when you've actually proven to yourself and to the businesses in this industry that you're actually good. And that's the beautiful part about step 3 here. Once you're in a business, once you have the right support, you're not actually losing the role. You keep in the role, you're performing, you're showing up. Then the fun part of remote sales truly begins. That's when you will have all these opportunities open up for you. We can literally grow into other businesses. You can hop over to another offer we can make more money. You can get into a better team, get into a more high level role, and everything becomes so much easier when you have these connections. Because at this point, you worked with a business, you've gotten to know a 7, 8-figure entrepreneur in most cases, work side by side with them. You've learned how the industry works. You've learned how the inside of a business actually operates in this industry. And that's going to set you up to literally do anything you want down the road and have so much more potential to make a lot of money, just because you've taken that time to be inside of a business, make money, and see how they operate. So that's your 10K per month. But most importantly, you've also guaranteed your income for the rest of your life. When you've gone through this process, follow these steps I just gave you right now, you're going to guarantee that you will make money for the rest of your life, because you've learned the most fundamental skills in business. You've learned how to sell. You learn how to persuade people, which is always going to be in demand no matter what happens. So that's huge. That's what I've done at this point, where I know that the next 4, 5, 10, 20 years of my life, I'm never gonna have, or for the rest of my life actually, I'm never gonna have to worry about money ever again, because I know that I've developed this skill. It makes me valuable to all businesses out there. So regardless of what happens with my business, regardless of what happens with like anything really, I could always just go back to selling. In worst case, I could just go to like a car dealership, or find a business in this industry and always make money because I understand sales. So that's the first thing you develop, and also confidence. If we look at these two pictures I showed you before here, there's literally like a 9-day difference between me here and me here. How I spoke, how I carried myself, all those different things changed because I focused on actually learning a skill. I developed actual belief in myself. When you truly just show to yourself that you're capable of achieving more, when you start making your first 5, 10K a month, like I'm just gonna promise you and like just take my word for this, how you view yourself and your just like your sense of kind of security and belief in yourself changes completely when you know that you're capable and you've developed a skill that no one can take away from you. It allows you to just go out and make so much money, more money than probably your parents are making, and things like that. You will be so much more convicted in yourself, and it's going to be so much easier to scale to the next level when you've proven that you can actually do it to yourself. So this is the framework. Take action on this stuff. And if you want any like help from me with this stuff, I have my Alex Inner Circle is what I call it, my inner circle, which is basically my one-on-one coaching program where I give you everything you need to get into this. So if you don't want my help, no worries. Thanks for watching the video. But if you want help, if you want to speed up this entire process, I've helped multiple guys go through this entire process and speed up the entire journey of, number one, having one-on-one help from me, having my hand holding, so having me, like I showed you here before. Zoom out. Number one, helping you understand the skill set, giving you the sales principles, understanding how to actually sell, what to say on your calls, and then reviewing the stuff you're doing, having a community of other guys to role play with, having course content, understanding exact sales principles, understanding what to say on your calls, the scripts, all that stuff. That's what you get. Live coaching with me, sitting down with me directly, having me review your calls, give you feedback, showing you exactly what you need to adjust, you need to improve on, all that stuff, getting that live from me. Accountability, having someone who's, it can be hard on this journey. There's times where you want to give up, times when things get hard, times where you're struggling. Having that accountability, having me reach out to you, other members as well, reach out to you and like pushing you to keep going. And also having that killer community, being surrounded with other young guys on the same journey who are trying to make money online, trying to succeed, and people that are making it as well. I have multiple guys inside of my group that have landed roles that are making between 5 10K a month doing this. So be able to be surrounded by those people, learn from them, see what they're doing, and just level up your network as well. Plus, as well, obviously exclusive job access, getting access to offers where you literally get connected directly with 7 to 8 figure businesses from my network as well. This is exactly what we do inside of my inner circle, my one-on-one coaching program. So if you feel like you're interested in that, you want to speed up this entire process, get a clear blueprint to follow, and accountability, hand-holding, have someone who can show you the way, review your calls, give you feedback, make sure you can perform and once you land a role and scale in that. If you want that type of help, next step for you is just click the link in the description of this video where I basically have a calendar. You can book a call with me directly. We'll speak one-on-one. We'll figure out if it's actually a good fit for us to work together and if it makes sense for me to help you and invite you into my inner circle. Don't only do that though. I want to be really clear about this. Only do that if you're actually ready to work hard. I only work with people that are actually committed, actually serious about making this happen, because this takes hard work. It's not a get rich quick. It's not easy, but if you're willing to work hard, it's 100% possible to do. I've done it myself, and I've helped countless of other guys to do it as well. So if that's you, if you want to take action on this stuff and learn from me directly, click the link. I'm happy to help you out on your journey and work with you one-on-one and see if you're a good fit by taking a call together. And if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, link down below, or leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys as always in the next video. Take care. Ciao.